being that all they had to do was make another big-eared alien movie to bring in money, I don't think we're ever gonna see the end of these live-action makes in our lives. Hey y'all, SnarkyJay cosplay here. As of the time of this video's recording, we just last week got the release of the latest live-action remake out of Disney, Lilo and Stitch. I don't know about you, but honestly, I was really rooting for this one to fail for a multitude of reasons. The first being that Lilo and Stitch happens to be one of my favorite Disney films, and I really didn't want to see it get a live-action remake. And on another note, I was really hoping it would flop so that Disney would stop making these. Why did I think that would happen? Okay, well, if we want to talk about Snow White, which we talked about ad nauseum on this channel, I don't want to do any more Snow White videos, but Snow White lost Disney a shitload of money, and it got a ton of controversy on the internet, and it did terribly in the box office. The classic Disney film remade, and it did terribly for a number of reasons. If you want to hear me talk about those, go watch any of the videos I've already done. It failed miserably. And interestingly enough, right after it failed miserably, Disney came out and said, you know what, we're actually not gonna do that live-action Tangled remake. Rapunzel and Flynn Rider are gonna have to take a break, which I thought was really interesting and just too much of a coincidence, right? Seems like they probably had some big changes planned for Tangled, the live-action remake, and so they decided to just put it out to pasture for now. So I thought, well, we might be done with that, right? If Lilo and Stitch does poorly in theaters, we might be rid of this. Well, it is actually breaking box office records, and this isn't one of those times where I'm like, it's breaking records, and then I bring out like some terrible statistic that shows it's performing like No. Lilo and Stitch has actually had the biggest Memorial Day weekend box office ever. It literally has broken records. It made $183 million at its opening weekend, over Memorial Day weekend, $183 million. Need I remind you, it is out at the same time as the last Mission Impossible movie, and not even that has caught up. That film only made $77 million. It is insane how well this live-action Lilo and Stitch movie is doing in theaters. Let me put it into perspective for you. $183 million over Memorial Day weekend, its opening weekend. In 2002, the original Lilo and Stitch was in theaters for 4 months, and it made $145 million domestically. It took this film 3 days to make $40 million more than the original film made in its entire 4-month run in 2002. And granted, we have to talk about inflation and all that but that is crazy. No amount of inflation accounts for that. What is going on with people? And look, I think part of what's going on is that there's not a lot of kids' entertainment out there these days, okay? I don't want to be that guy. I don't have kids, and it's really not my place to talk about it. But TikTok, Instagram, and all these other bullshit social media websites are literally raising today's children. I didn't understand how a computer worked when I was 5. I have a terrible relationship with technology because I've just never gotten it. Like, I'm also just not that sharp about technology to begin with, but these kids are born with tablets in their hands, and so they don't have to go to the movie theater. They can stream things. They don't need to go to the toy store because they don't exist. They can order things on Amazon. They're on the phones and the computers all the time. So I get it. Parents probably saw Lilo and Stitch in theaters and knew this is a safe bet. Let's take the kids, pack the kids up into the minivan. Let's go. We got to go watch it. And so of course this movie is making hundreds of millions of dollars. It's crazy, but it still just sets such a bad precedent for what Disney should and shouldn't be making if we're talking like cinema. If we're talking pleasing the masses, I mean, Snow White didn't please the masses, but who doesn't love that blue alien thing? I'm not really that big a fan of him anymore. I mean, I like the movie, but I think he's an asshole. But it's crazy, the amount of money that this uncreative, terrible remake, it's a bad remake. I saw it. I'm somebody who could literally quote line for line the original from how many times I've seen it, and this sucked. It was actually originally supposed to be a Disney Plus release, and then Disney said, no, put it in theaters. Let's see what happens. What happens? You made money rain, baby. This is nuts. And what is horrifying are the ratings for this. Let me show you the ratings for the original Lilo and Stitch from 2002. 86% from critics and a 78% from fans on over 200,000 verified ratings. 78% for one of the last beautiful works of classic animation from Disney. 78% for the film that introduced arguably one of the biggest money-making toys for Disney, because Stitch is on everything, he is in everything, he had spin-off shows. 78% for a film that was a beautiful story. Yeah, I mean, you get the little crazy guy, he's singing Elvis and he's doing all this other shit. But it was such a phenomenal story about family, about found family, about sticking with the people you love. It's a great message, the original movie, and if you want to hear more about my thoughts on the original, you can watch my review of the remake. I get into the weeds on a lot of that kind of stuff, comparing the messaging from then to now. And if we look at the ratings for the live-action remake, now, in 2025, 23 years after the release of the original, from critics, 69%. Nice.
Stop it. Get some help.
Editing Jay, you're really gonna act like you weren't thinking the exact same thing. They were thinking it. You can't say that number with All right, she's gonna blue screen me, so I guess we're done with that one. 69% from the critics. And a whopping 93% from the fans for a movie that is a CGI nightmare, a shell of what the old one used to be. A film that tells the message that older siblings should tell their younger siblings to f*** off, because at the end of the movie, Naughty relinquishes Lilo to the state so that she can go to college. A movie that has Zach Galifianakis and Billy Magnussen chasing each other in circles as opposed to two charming aliens. A film that cuts out so many iconic characters, has no soul, the animation is ugly, the colors are icky. This entire movie is a nightmare, and people gave it 93%. No wonder cinema's in the toilet. Yeah, we got an echo chamber of people here on YouTube bitching about these remakes and nobody asked for this. Yeah, we didn't ask for it, but clearly people are paying for it. You mean to tell me that this movie is worthy of a 93%? That the live-action remake of Lilo and Stitch is on par with movies like Rocky? I would love for you guys to all go watch that movie and tell me that it's anywhere near as good. It's not. Maybe I'm just a jaded asshole who just doesn't like things now. I mean, I don't know, because I have other that I really like. Ask my dad, who had to sit through 35 minutes of me explaining the entire plot of Final Fantasy VII, including Advent Children and Crisis Core, 2 weeks ago. I have things that I like. Why are things so bad now? Why is Disney so shitty now? Why does this remake suck? I mean, is this one of those things where people are going to the movies with their kids who are like 5, and the kid goes, Stitch, at the end of the movie, and they're like, do you like it, son? And he goes, Stitch, buy me the doll. And they go buy the doll, and then they write a review. My son loved the live-action Lilo and Stitch. It's so creative. We love it. We're going back in the minivan to watch it 17 more times. Is that what happens? Is that what, I think that has to be what happens. Because I just can't see, like, hundreds of thousands of angry Twitter users about everything else in their lives, going and watching this movie and thinking it's worth ranting positively about. I mean, maybe it is, right? Maybe I'm the asshole here. But I'm looking at this and I think it's not a good movie. Objectively, it's not a good movie. And it's doing this well. It's making so much money. It's got a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. Again, maybe I'm in the wrong. And if I am in the wrong, you know what? I'll just accept I'm an asshole. It wasn't for me. I didn't like it, whatever. But it's never gonna stop. We keep asking for original films. Stop with the remakes. Re-release the originals. No, because the remakes make billions of dollars. They make so much money. Now they can give you all this shit. They can throw more product at you. Product, consume. That's exactly what's gonna happen. That's what they wanted. That's what they wanted, and they got it. They were almost going to release this on Disney Plus, and look how much money it's made. It's literally broken Memorial Day. Out of every movie that's ever had a Memorial Day weekend release, or has ever been screening in theaters during Memorial Day, broke records. Every record. That's how well this soulless, terrible remake is doing. We are so screwed. We are never getting back into the era of original films and classic animation and unique thought. We are never getting it ever again. It has finally sunk in for me. I am going to find other interests You might even get my 35-minute Final Fantasy rant on this channel. I swear to God, I don't know how much longer I can keep talking about the shit stain that is Hollywood in my life without also talking about the things that make me happy, because this is terrible. $183 million on this whopping piece of shit is so incredible to me. Disney is just going to learn to keep doing it. Keep doing it. People are going to consume. They're going to take their kids. It's going to be great. Long as they don't cast Rachel Zegler, they know they're basically set to make really good money. Bring on the slop, because we're in the shit now, folks. And that's all for me. I've been SnarkyJay. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. For more SnarkyJay, be sure to check me out on Instagram. And if you'd like to support me, this channel, and my content creation, do check out and consider subscribing to my Patreon for exclusive photo shoot sets and cosplay content. I'll add links to all of those in the description below. And let me know what you think of this Memorial Day weekend box office in the comments below.